I would like to introduce a two-time NBA champion with the Los Angeles Lakers. Please give a warm round of applause for Shannon Brown. Let's have some fun. How's it going?
I'm good, man. How you doing? How y'all doing?
So, first time here, huh?
It is. It is. It's great though. Like, me coming up, I didn't get a chance to, see a lot of the guys and that came before me. So it's kind of like fun, and it's an honor to, come in here and see some of the faces and see some of the history and, understand, what I did a little bit better, if that makes sense. But I mean, just thankful to all these guys, man. And women.
We did have Cheryl Swoops here yesterday, and
yeah.
So
she could play though. She could shoot, and she tough.
I think she can
tough.
still play. I think she can. So I kind of want to go through a little bit of your, basketball career. Starting way back when. I know you grew up just outside of Chicago.
Yeah.
Talk to me about just those early years of growing up playing basketball in Chicago, because there's such a reputation of good basketball in Chicago. What was it like growing up there, playing basketball there, learning the ropes, of the game there?
Well, growing up in Chicago, I mean, obviously, as you can see, our murder rate and crime rate is nothing to brag about, but it's up there, And so you have to be a tough person, to come out of that city and, be any kind of successful. And where I'm from, it's kind of a cliche thing. Either you do music or you play basketball, or you know what I mean. You go, and so that's why our parents and everything try to stress the importance of education and college and going to school. And me, fortunately, I worked so hard, with the basketball, that I was able to get a scholarship and then continue to elevate my career, onto the NBA and, win championships. But you got to be a tough character to come out of Chicago. And I think a lot of that gets translated to the basketball court, because you're trying to run away from the negative things. And, as part of that, all that anger and all that energy and all of that stuff, you translate it to the basketball court, and that's what comes out of it,
Now, was there a point where, growing up, that you realized, all right, I'm pretty good?
No, you definitely got to have a sense of confidence about yourself. Whenever you step on the basketball court, it's definitely gonna be guys out there that try to punk you and take your confidence and take your ego. So you gotta understand, even if you ain't the best, you gotta feel like you're the best, no matter what. You gotta work hard. For me, I just wanted to continue to get better. When I first touched the basketball, I literally couldn't dribble and walk at the same time. So it's just work constantly. Hours in the gym, hours at the park, and just, trying to get my game and my skill better.
Now, 2003, Mr. Basketball, state of Illinois.
Yeah.
The recruiting process, because it's obviously unique for everybody, and kind of being sought after by all these, big-time schools. What was that experience like for you? Because I'm sure most people haven't experienced something like that.
It was fun, and it was stressful. It was fun because it's, all these schools fighting for you. You know what I mean? They want you to come to their school and represent their school, and but it's stressful because, like, they don't stop. Like, it's nonstop letters. It's nonstop coming to the school, wanting to meet the parents. Just calling you and everything when you come to our school, like, a lot of incentives. So it's kind of pressure to pick the right one. I remember I made my decision. I got family in Texas. And so I had went to Texas. I was in Texas visiting my family, and I wanted to play some pickup basketball. And so they took me to a local gym. And I'm sure it was somebody on the inside, but I promise I got to the gym, and it was like 12 or 15 coaches that had flew in private just to watch me play like pickup basketball. And so on the drive back to Chicago, I told my pops, I'm like, listen, man, I'm going to Michigan State, and that's that. You know what I mean? Like, I can't deal with this type of pressure, man. But as much as it was an honor, it was pressure as well. So I went to Michigan State, got a chance to play in the Final Four. Didn't get a chance to, to win, but that experience, kind of just elevated my confidence in me. You know what I mean? So it's pressure, but it's fun.
So Michigan State, I mean, what was it about, the school and the program and Coach Izzo's obviously, quite the figure in sports. I don't know if you can see him up there.
Oh no, I did. I got a picture.
Inducted last year into the Hall. So, making that decision, what ultimately led you there?
Yeah, really just Coach Izzo, and the track record that he was, putting out at the time. Constant guys going to the NBA, Final Fours, championships. And I just wanted to be a part of that winning culture, and they wanted me a part of the winning culture, and I think that's what, attracted me to that situation the most, and it's been a family ever since, man, and I'm just so grateful, that they wanted me there, and, that they accepted me and helped me, continue to get better as a basketball player, as a person, as a man, and all of that.
You mentioned the Final Four 2005. Against North Carolina, just to play in a game of that magnitude. I mean, you go from, I'm always fascinated, guys go from, you're in high school, and then all of a sudden, a few short years later, you're playing in front of, how many thousands and thousands of people in a Final Four. What was that experience like for you?
That experience was fun. The Final Four is fun because you play in a dome, and it's like when we went out for shoot around, it was just like packed and so many people, and it's just like a lot of people really care and love this game of basketball, and it's just another humbling experience, and I'm just so happy and proud to be a part of it and to have been a part of it and still is a part of it. My little brother just got drafted he got drafted by Philadelphia and then got traded to the Milwaukee Bucks, and so they actually playing today in Vegas. And I wish I could see that, but I mean, I'm happy I'm here. But it's just, I can't express, how much, basketball has helped me and my family, man. So I'm at a loss for words sometimes.
Well, you play 3 years at Michigan State and decide, to leave and declare for the draft. I mean, how tough of a decision was that? As everybody talks about how, you get such a great college experience, you're playing at such a great program for a great coach, but ultimately deciding to go pro, I mean, how difficult of a decision was that for you?
It was difficult for me because, like, I wasn't, I was playing basketball. I played basketball because I love it, you know what I mean? And so, when you talk about the NBA, it's a different understanding and a different mentality you have to have because of the business part of it, and it's kind of strategic. And, little inside information, I should have left after my sophomore year when we went to the Final Four, but I stayed around, for my junior year. And a lot of it is, it's strategy on where you get picked, you know what I mean? First, 14th, 14th, 30th, you know what I mean? I got picked 25th in the first round to the Cleveland Cavaliers. And so I actually didn't want to go to the NBA yet. I wanted to stick around, but it wasn't the right decision, at the time. And, my stock where it was, and so I had to make the jump, and, that's what I did, man. And so, 2 championships later, a lot of teams later, but a lot of relationships made, a lot of friends made, and, it's continuing to happen.
What was your draft night like? Because everybody has a unique story. Everybody has a, I was here when I got the call and I found out. What was your night like?
So I didn't go to New York. I didn't go to New York and do the suit thing. I actually stayed in Chicago with a lot of my friends and family, and I was at ESPN Zone. And so, like I said, I got picked 25th. So that first pick through the 24th pick, my heart was beating. I'm sweating beads. I had maybe 200 people there, and I had to separate myself from them because it just got that overwhelming. But when my name finally got called and I got chosen, I got picked, it was literally a dream come true. Everything that I worked for, prayed for, put all the hours in the gym for, it finally happened, and it's a unreal, surreal feeling that you almost can't really explain or put into words.
Cavaliers draft you, your first NBA team. Yeah. LeBron James is on that team.
Yeah.
What was that like playing, for a couple of years in Cleveland with him? And obviously he's turned into, one of the greats of all time, but just those early years, because he had only been there, I think, for a few years at that point.
So we actually played. Me and LeBron actually came out of high school the same year, '03. So we played in the McDonald's game together. We had previous history. He used to come to Chicago, play AAU tournaments, and work out with Tim Grover down at Hoops Gym. We actually was co-MVPs of the Michael Jordan Capital Classic. So it was just fun to be able to team up with him. You know what I mean? But the side of basketball that people don't really see that is sometimes it is a business. You know what I mean? And so, as much as I would have loved to like stay on that team, I had to make my next steps in my basketball, career. And that's the hugest thing as well, being able to be an individual and go out and handle your business according to how it's supposed to be done for you. You know what I mean? And I'm so proud. Like, I'm proud of LeBron and all the guys that, you know what I mean, that I came in with, or, whatever the case is, just to see how loyal they are to the game and see the success that, that they're having, man. It's just fun for me to, continue to go out there and get better as well, because I feel like I don't have a ceiling.
A lot of people in here probably really started to know who Shannon Brown was, during your time in LA and playing for the Lakers and, winning 2 titles there. Just talk about what it's like to play for such a, organization like the Lakers and to have the kind of success that you guys had, because, back-to-back titles those 2 years. I mean, that was quite the team those couple of years.
Yeah, it was. I can't explain it, man. It was just fun, and it was a certain, level of championship mentality that was carried in, day out. Every practice, every game, every film session. Even when we were just hanging out, it was all about championship, but also putting in that work to make it happen. That's pretty much my pedigree. Going out, working hard, and going and laying it all out there on the court. And so when LA traded for me from the Bobcats at the time. I was ecstatic. I really didn't know what to expect, but I just knew I was going into a championship environment, and championship after championship. I'm mad we didn't win that third one. There's a lot of little intricate things that went into that year, but to win 2 championships coming from where I come from, and playing with one of the greatest to ever do it, being coached by one of the greatest to ever coach, I can't ask for more.
You mentioned, you touched on Kobe Bryant, who, someday is going to be up there, in a few short years here. But, to play with him and everybody talks about, how competitive of a guy he is and how much he wanted to win and how badly he wanted to win. To be a teammate of his and enjoy some successes with him like you were able to do, what was that like?
Well, sure. Well, us being 2 guards, me backing him up, I had to play against him every day in practice, man. And like you say, he's a competitor, and he definitely helped me get better, as a basketball player, as a man and all that good stuff. But I'm appreciative. Like I said, when I first touched the basketball, it was a foreign object to me, and so working, and then, to be able to, have to go against one of the greatest to ever do it, on a daily basis, I definitely got better, and I'm just thankful, man. I'm thankful, but it was an honor to be able to get physical with that guy.
I want to bring you back to 2010 real briefly, because you had a unique experience that year competing in the slam dunk contest.
Yeah.
What was that like? That's something that very few people have been able to say that they've done. There's only a few a year that do it. It's quite an experience just to be part of All-Star Weekend, I'm sure. But to just take me back to that moment and what that was like.
Well, I actually didn't want to do the dunk contest, so it was kind of like I kind of let my pride and my ego as like a basketball player get in the way, because I just never wanted to be known as just a dunker. That's Shannon Brown a dunk. Oh, that's Shannon Brown a dunk. Oh, he could jump so high. It's like, okay, I could dribble, I could shoot, I could pass, I could do all this other stuff, but just dunk. And so I think me practicing for the dunk contest, I think the guys were more wild by that than what I actually got a chance to show in the dunk contest. But a heck of an experience, and they made websites for me, LetShannonDunk.com, and I'm very, 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 very appreciative of all of that stuff, man. It's just to see the atmosphere, the people, that came out, the celebrities, and what I mean, just everybody in a building at one time, man. It was humbling. It was humbling once again.
Pretty sure Kobe threw you an alley-oop during that dunk
He did.
contest.
Now I did something a little different, like in the practice, but like by the time I got to I got to the actual dunk contest, I had missed the dunk, and so I just threw it down as hard as I could. But even him coming out and participating with me, that says a lot, because he definitely didn't have to.
That 2010 final against the Boston Celtics, which a lot of people, I'm sure, in here, Celtics fans, since we're pretty, close to Boston. Went to 7 games, to the two pretty much most historic organizations in the league, I want to say.
Two most championships in history.
What was that like to be a part of just those two teams, East Coast, West Coast? Just such a huge rivalry.
Yeah, like you said, it's definitely a rivalry, man. You could feel it. The year before, Lakers had lost, and Boston was just they were talking crazy. They had got the big three together and all of that. And so, the Lakers felt like they needed to make some changes and some trades, and that's what they did, man. And we got a chance to meet them again, and, we end up winning. But before that, my bad, I made a mistake. We beat Orlando the first year. And then we came back and beat Boston. But it was, it's special, man. Like, I promise I try every day to put in words or try to, describe the feeling, when it's going on, or how, like, you can't really do it. You just gotta, what they call it, carpe diem, man. You just gotta live in the moment, be appreciative, and, understand that everything that's going on is a blessing, man, and take full advantage of it. And that's what I did, man. It's just a special feeling, to be a part of that rivalry, and on the successful side of it,
We got a few more questions for Shannon, but if anyone in the crowd wants to ask him a question, I would ask you to raise your hand. Somebody from the Hall of Fame will come by and pick a few people to ask questions. So yeah, raise your hand and someone will be by. Continue here, but Shannon, as far as your career spanning, it's over a decade in the league, and now, like you mentioned, your younger brother was just drafted. Last month. What kind of advice are you giving him? What kind of advice would you give to somebody kind of who's starting up in the league and coming through, the way you did, not that long ago?
The advice that I give him is just, just to work hard, stay in the gym, let the people that are in charge see that you care, the front office, the coaches, the people that's making decisions, see that you're in the gym getting your shots up, working, staying in shape, watching film, learning, just continuing to get better, on a daily basis, and trusting yourself, being confident in yourself and your abilities, so when it's time to go out there and when your number is called, it ain't a lot of thinking, it's just, you let your instincts kick in.
All right, I think we got a few people ready to come on up. What's your name?
Kevin.
Where are you from, Kevin?
LA.
LA.
What's up, man?
Oh, you got a question for Shannon?
What was it like playing with Dwayne Wade?
Oh, okay. So my Miami Heat days. Man, Dwayne Wade is another, and he's from Chicago. He's just another fierce competitor that I've been watching and, looking at for as long as I can remember, when he was at Marquette, and it's just an honor to play against these guys, all the time, you know what I mean? And he got championships. I think he got 3 championships, and so he taught me a lot. My time in Miami, and it was just an honor to play with him, man. He's a good basketball player and a great guy as well.
Awesome. Thanks for the question.
How you doing?
Come on up.
It's a long little walk, right?
What's your name?
My name's Liz. There's a lot of kids here, and you have given your life to basketball. There's truth to being older and being wiser. I guess my question is, with all of these kids here, knowing what you know now, what would you have told yourself at that age? Things that you have learned.
Yeah, no, that's a good question. Really just to, be loyal to the game. Don't get discouraged. Keep confidence in yourself, and just go out and and work hard. I think a lot of times, it's a lot of players out there that's just super talented. And for one reason or the other, whether it be confidence, whether it they let something from the outside, affect what they got going on the basketball court. Like you say, if you're gonna give your life to the game, you got to give it all to the game, and that would be my only advice. You can't make no excuses. Oh, I couldn't come to practice because such and such, or I couldn't do this because if it's basketball, it's basketball, and you got to go out there and just just make it happen. And I've seen basketball change a lot of people's lives, including mine. And so it's kind of easy to stay on track, but it's also kind of easy to get off track. And so if it's really what you want to do, just stick with it. Just stick with it no matter what.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
No problem.
Hello, what's your name?
Emily.
Emily, what's your question for Shannon?
So did anyone ever tell you that you weren't good enough for basketball? Say oh, you shouldn't be doing this, and did you just believe them, or did you keep going and keep motivated to keep your motivation keep going to get better?
No, she asked me, did anybody tell me that I wasn't good enough? And it's crazy because that's such a cliche thing, but yes, I remember what hurt me a lot was me getting, I didn't make my fifth grade basketball team. And that was the first year that we could play in school. And so I was just so hurt, you know what I mean? But I didn't let it stop me. I just kept playing and kept getting better, kept going to the gym, kept going to the park, just playing every chance that I could. And that's pretty much what it is, just getting better. Of course, you're gonna have people that speak down on you, that speak negative, but you can't think about them. Who cares what they say? You know what I mean? They might got something within themselves that make them feel make them feel less of whatever that is. And you encourage them, but you keep doing what you do to get better. You know what I mean? You can't let no negative talk, interfere with what you're trying to accomplish. And, sometimes that's easier said than done, but you got to realize there's a lot of people out here that's down and trying to bring you down with them, but you got to continue to, elevate yourself in whatever way possible.
Awesome. Thank you for the question.
That's a great question. That's a great question.
I recognize this jersey.
And armband.
What's your name?
Nolan.
What's your question for Shannon Nolan?
Shannon. So, what kind of did you feel any kind of pressure when you were playing with some of the NBA greats like Kobe, LeBron, and those men?
Yes, it is. It is a certain level of pressure, but at the same time, I keep saying that you got to have confidence in yourself and your ability. You have to understand that, you wouldn't have, or I wouldn't have been on those teams or playing with those guys if they didn't feel I was good enough and if I didn't feel I was good enough. So you have to go out there and put all that hard work, all those hours in the gym, film sessions, and you just gotta, have confidence in yourself to go out there and make it happen. You ain't working, all those hours or putting in all that work to just, okay, I did it. Nah, you do it to go out there and display it to the world, you know what I mean, while you're working hard. So yeah, it's definitely a sense of pressure, but once you win championships and once you accomplish, the things that are accomplished, then you get a better sense of, what you're working hard for, if that makes sense.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thanks for the question. Hey, what's your name?
Makoa?
What's your question for Shannon?
What was your favorite team that you've played for so far?
Oh, yeah, it had to be the Lakers, hands down. Winning championships, top-notch organization, it's all about the players. You know, you go to some organizations where, you know, it's a lot of egos involved and the coaches feel like they're more important or the front office feel like they're more important. You know, but with the Lakers, it was the organization. It was the players first. Players get on the plane first. Players eat first. It was just all about the players. And, you know, if the players aren't comfortable, they aren't going to go out there and perform the way that they should. But if you make the players comfortable, then, you know, when they step out on the court, you know, they feel like, you know, they're on top of the world and, you know, they can go out there and play and beat and compete against, you know, anybody. And so the Lakers was the, you know, hands down the greatest organization that I played with.
Awesome. All right, we got one more. You got some support in the crowd, ready to go.
Popular guy, right?
What's your name?
My name is CJ.
So,
The question I was going to ask you, did you feel proud of yourself when you made it to the NBA and like working out, playing hard? And was it like really, really hard to like play against all these tall players? And like, was it hard to like practice when you were little, big, everything like that?
yeah, no, it's a good question. No, I was ecstatic, man, because I understood that, you know, by me getting picked 25th in the first round, you know, it's thousands and thousands and thousands of guys around colleges and high schools and around the world, like, that's trying to do what I accomplished, you know what I mean? So it was a sense of pride, you know what I mean? But at the same time, the pride came because it wasn't given to me. You know, I went out there and I worked. Put up shots. I ran bleachers. I ran stairs. I brought people with me. Like, come to the gym. You don't got to hang out over there. Come to the gym with me. Like, that's where the pride, you know, came from. And as far as tall guys, I ain't afraid of none of them. Like, I try to dunk on them. You know what I mean? Like, to, you know, bring them down to my size, I guess. And I ain't short. You know, I'm 6'2", 6'3". But you're right. There's some 6 foot, 7 footers in there. But you know, you gotta go in there and you gotta feel like the man. You know, you heard the story of David and the Goliath, you know what I mean? I'm David, if that makes sense, man. So I ain't afraid of none of them, but that's what it's about. It's about going out, having fun, competing, you know what I'm saying, making relationships. A lot of the guys, you spend time with them in the summer, even if you're on different teams, you know, it's a family, man. And so it's about going out there competing and then laying it all out on them, man. So I enjoyed it.
Thank you. Some good questions.
Yeah, some great questions, man. Great.
So I kind of want to end on the note of, you know, obviously being here in Springfield for the first time and seeing a lot of, you know, what there is to offer here and just kind of looking up at some of the faces and the names up there around in the rafters and, you know, coaches of yours, you know, people you've played against, things like that. I mean, just the experience to step foot in the Hall of Fame, I mean, what's that mean to you?
It's humbling in here, man. It's humbling. Even just to see like the first basketballs or the first baskets, like the jerseys, the warm-ups they used to wear, and just looking at some of the things that, you know, a lot of these, you know, people accomplished, you know, before me and basically, you know, helped pave the way for me, you know, as an individual to come through and, you know, display, you know, what I work hard for. Like, I, you know, never seen none of these, you know, people ever in life, but they had a huge influence and impact, you know, on my basketball career, you know what I mean? And so it's just a humbling experience. And like I say, like to see the first, you know, I could see why they named it basketball, because it was a basket, literally a basket, and then, you know, it was a ball, you know what I mean? So it kind of makes sense, man. And you know, James Naismith, thank him for inventing the game, and, you know, everybody that just, you know, that came before me, man, that's still doing it now. I have a special, you know, they always have a special place in my heart, for real, for real.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much for being here. I want to have a final round of applause for Shannon Brown, please.
Thank you.